Shalom, Israel. This is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Start out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. We are under Commanding Journey Yohana. We've been teaching this truth since 1969 that the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians are in fact the true biblical Jews of the Bible, and that our oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of. You understand? Tonight's class, I'm going to be covering a couple of topics concerning your conversation. You know, the things that you choose to spill out of your mouth. You understand? It's imperative that we be disciplined in our conversations. Why is that? Because words. Let me move this out of the way. It's kind of just move it to the side. Because what we don't recognize and understand is our conversation. This is how demons spread. Demons spread with your conversation, with the words that you say, with the things that you choose to share, the things that you choose to spread. You understand? It's like we may not see it head on, but it's like it's like a wildfire, right? You understand? Like a wildfire is hard to contain, and it's hard to, put in a box and extinguish. That's how dangerous your conversation can. And why do I use the word Officer Mathon? Why do I use the word wildfire? Because it's destructive. It's destructive, and it can go crazy and wild. It's destructive, it can go crazy and wild, and all those things just cause more and more and more destruction, man. Everybody understand? I'm gonna bring out some scriptures that I brought up. I brought up before, but I'll bring out again, and to familiarize you with this here. It's very imperative that we recognize and understand how important it is to not only to hold your peace, not only just to hold your peace in general, but how important it is to be disciplined in your conversation. Be disciplined, not only in your conversation, your what do they call it? What's the other language they call? It's not just word of mouth, but your body language. You want to be careful with your body language. You want to be careful with your facial expressions, because all these things can lead to a catastrophic event. It can lead to an absolutely catastrophic event. Not always on a major level, but on a personal level, on an individual level. You know what I mean? Within your family, within your particular circle, within your, whatever it may be. But what initiates that is our lack of discipline, to hold back thy tongue, to hold back thy thoughts. This age in society, if I could, my thumb, just elaborate just a little bit. I know I get to talking sometimes, Shalag, you know what I mean? Right. Yeah, you can bring that in. Bring that smoke, yeah. Bring this incense in here. But what was I just saying? We don't understand and recognize how impactful, our dialogue is. Right. We don't understand how impactful our conversation is, our mannerisms, our body language, the things that we choose to do, the things that we choose to not do. We don't recognize and understand how the gravity of it all. So you want to be mindful on what you say, how you say it, Not saying it. Listen, even if the words are true, it can be dangerous. You understand? Is those words um, are those words spoken in the correct setting? Do those words need to be spoken in the council, or does it need to be spoken to you and your significant other in your bed? Spilling the tea,
Right.
so-called spilling the tea, right? I'm gonna get some scriptures. Bear with me 1 second. You can time it anytime you want to.
No, no, sir.
Bear with me 1 second. 1 second.
I think you want to say too, I think it's powerful that you brought that up. We also got to think about whether these words are hurtful, harmful, or helpful.
Right.
The things that we say, sometimes we think is helping a person when it's hurting a person. Hurt can lead to other things.
Exactly.
There are actions and reactions. Action is what you speak. A reaction is what a person does after listening to something positive or negative.
Right. Absolutely. You're right on point with that, right? So you want to be mindful. You want to be mindful what we say, how we say it, when we say it. Is this the proper time? You want to think about it. You want to ponder. You don't want to. You don't want to move off of your emotions, and then you move off your even though your emotions might be valid. Your emotions and your thoughts might be valid, and what you think and what you feel might be valid, but you move on that prematurely, then you jammed up in the game. You know what I mean? And we're gonna go in this Bible real quick. I'm gonna show you a couple of things about this topic. Don't get think for one moment in your mind that when you laying down with your woman, brother or sister, when you laying down with your man, that is a free place to gossip. That's a free place to. They say you know what term is disgusting to me now. I think it was disgusting when I was in the world. You ever think this? You ever heard this term or thumb? I'm just venting.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just. If anybody say to you, that's a red flag. Well, I'm just venting. That's that's a key sign that you got a fault with a brother or sister, and maybe you should go to them and them alone. You know what I mean? What's
Sir, it's amazing that you brought that up. That was always what we called an excuse lie.
right,
To say something hurtful most of the time when somebody say, I'm just venting.
right.
It's to say or release what you really feel or how you feel without going to that person and that person alone.
Yeah, that's what it is. You choosing not to go to him and him alone, like the scriptures say. You rather vent, and that venting, you know what a vent does, right? It transport that either heated air or cooled air to another area. That venting spreads. Key the term. I'm just venting. But what you're venting is poison. It ain't oxygen. It ain't air conditioned air, which I need right now. It's like it ain't heat
Right.
being spread through in a winter you know tundra. Winter is tundra. You understand? Give me Proverbs 21 and 23. This topic may seem sensitive for some because in the Christian church it's so common, and just in society in general, it's so common to talk. It's so common to spill the so-called tea is so common to, you know, say it again, spill the beans. Man, that's a term right there. That's an old term. That's an old. Hold up.
Showing my age.
Hey, that's another one. Who let the cat out the bag? Now, who's putting cats in bags? Come on, yo. That's a old school term. I mean, but you know, that's the deal. But what we don't recognize and understand is this, Matham. Of course, you understand this, but many times we see in our communities that those conversations and that pillow talk and that venting, it leads to controversy, and a lot of times that controversy leads to unaliving, which we don't understand the impact of. You know, our conversation is vital. You want to be selective. Like we all for having a good time and conversing and speaking to each other, sharing good times, like you know, sharing experiences and everything like that. But when that conversations becomes so personal that you're talking down on the person, even if it's true, let that conversation be done in a proper setting. In the proper setting where judgments can be held. You understand? Let that conversation be held in a proper setting in a courtroom. Let that conversation be held in a proper setting in a, you know, proper counsel.
Right.
We don't understand the value of that. Why? You just getting your side of the story. You just getting your emotions. You know what I do, my thumb? Somebody start talking crazy. Hey, look, I don't want. Hey, listen. Hey, look, y'all keep that. You keep that to yourself. You talked about that with that person. I don't want to hear nothing. Like I cut, you know, I cut you off.
Right.
Hey, listen, check it out, boom. Like, hey, can I talk to you? Now I'm offended. Now I got to go to him and him alone. You know, I got to go. Hey, listen, hey, yeah, you know what I'm saying? You talking crazy back there, boom, boom. I mean, hey, listen, you might not want to do that. You know what I'm saying? Okay, I get you. I got you. I mean, type deal. You know what I mean? Sometimes I cut myself off mid sentence. You know, hey, yo, you know what? Hey, my bad, and I apologize. Yo, I think I'm talking a little crazy. I think I'm talking a little. I think I'm talking a little too freely. Let me chill out, and then get back on topic or whatever. You know, whatever the conversation is.
Right.
That's being disciplined in your tongue. That's being disciplined in your speech. You understand why? Because you know the gravity and the gravity of that conversation can lead what that can lead to. Everybody understand?
Common counsel.
You got that script?
Common counsel.
Go ahead.
Proverbs chapter 21, verse 23.
We in Proverbs chapter 21, verse 23. Go ahead.
Whoso keepeth his mouth.
He does what?
Whoso keepeth his mouth.
Go ahead.
And his tongue.
And his what?
And his tongue.
What does this mean? This is talking about your conversation. This is talking about the dialogue you have with brothers and sisters. You know, this is talking about when it says keepeth, it's meaning I'm gonna hold this back. I'm gonna hold these thoughts in my mind in this conversation, in this setting. I'm gonna hold that back. I'm gonna leave it for something else. You understand? He that keepeth, meaning what? Madam, what's another word for it? Retain. Retain or hold on. That's a perfect. You know, that's a perfect term for it. Retain or to hold. You understand? It said, who keepeth? Read it one more time.
Proverbs chapter 21, verse 23.
Mm-hmm.
Whoso keepeth his mouth and his tongue keepeth his soul.
Keepeth his what?
Keepeth his soul.
Go ahead.
From trouble.
From trouble, meaning you're avoiding strife. You're avoiding strife. That don't mean you can't talk and have a conversation with a brother, but you know you know exactly when you should not talk. You know exactly what you should not mention. You know exactly what you should not share. But this society is so hell bent on Like, I remember growing up, I would listen to my grandma. I shouldn't say that. I would listen to people that was raising me on the phone, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, yo, they on the phone, good time, blase, blase. As soon as they get off the phone, all types of bitches.
Right.
Man, I can't stand that. I can't. I'm like, yo, what in the hell is this? And then on the phone talking about somebody else in the church. Well, I heard such and such, this, that, and there, her husband is such and such. Like, why do we gravitate towards that wickedness, yeah? And then why can't we see, like, I saw it. I mean, I was like, I'm looking at my siblings like, yo, what in the hell was that? Y'all saw that? This the church? This what we supposed to follow after? Okay, well, I mean, that's just how it is, right? And that's so common in the church. That's so common in society in general. Like, it's gross how bad we treat, how foul we treat each other when we not around each other.
Right.
Do your brother, and this topic is about brotherhood. Give that brother, give that sister the common courtesy of brotherhood. You know what we rather do? I know I've been around here a little bit. We familiar with the scripture, go to him and him alone, right? Everybody familiar with, I think even the Christian church may be familiar with it a little bit. But we so quick to run to what? Counsel. Not saying counsel is wrong. Counsel is absolutely righteous, my thumb. You understand that. But if your intentions is not to gain thy brother, that's before the counsel, dummy. If your intentions is not to gain thy brother and to gain thy sisters, you are also wicked.
Right.
Damn. You got to think about it like this, right? And I'm gonna tell you, especially for you young brothers and young sisters in the truth, hey, you can exit the full screen. See if anybody got any questions. But you should absolutely recognize and understand this, right? If you ain't going to that brother with the intentions to gain that brother, to gain that sister, you wicked, yeah. Give that courtesy. Give brotherhood a chance. Like you would want somebody to come to you rather than talk about you bad and talk about you nasty to the entire nation. I'd rather you come to me. Hey, listen. Hey, Salakia, sir, or maybe a brother above me. Hey, can I talk to you for a second? It go both ways. And listen, it's in the Bible because it's going to happen. I'm telling you straight up. A lot of young folk, young cats come in here, don't understand that it's in the Bible because it's going to happen. They super zealous and everything, which is fine. Of course, you understand, but they don't recognize and understand those bumps in the road are going to happen because, listen, the Lord's showing you this it ain't in there for vanity. Hey, listen, Satan to create a situation where you got to go to him and him alone. And then you go to him and him alone. I was like, damn, why the hell was I thinking like that? My bad. Hey, listen, my bad. Hey, listen, we cool. Guess what just happened? Damn, you see what Satan trying to do, yo? Y'all chopping it up about like, damn, we was thinking like that. I didn't have personal experiences in the truth like that myself. I go to a brother or a brother come to me, and I'm like, damn, my bad, damn, you see what Satan trying to do just now? And it's like, no, we bonding off of Satan trying to mess with us. And I gain the brother, or I gain the sister, you know what I mean? That's how that works. We don't like that for like that's one of my favorite my favorite class coming up in the church was Tuesday night. I would watch DC, I would watch Captain Mashak. I would watch Captain Mashak every Tuesday. It was my favorite class. Cause it was so first of all, Captain Mashak is an amazing teacher, for one, okay? But not only that, it was like I never was taught brotherhood. We was never ever taught, we was always taught to, forgive the nation that oppressed us, or to forgive in general, to forgive the predator in the family. Forgive the predator in the church. Things of that nature. But to like, yo, you got to out with your brother. We was never taught that. You know what I mean? And like when this was broken down to me, I was like, yo, this is right here. This is where it's at. We can't comprehend that because this Asian society, Matham, they don't promote that. They promote the most vile, spilling the tea and controversy and gossip and rumors. They promote that in today's Asian society rather than brotherhood. You know what I mean? That going to him and him alone is so vital, yo. It's so vital and important. And it's so vital and important, yo. Like we overlook it sometimes. We overlook how important how vital that is. You know what I mean? I know I'll be rambling sometimes, but it's important to break it down. So you gotta break it down to the residue, to the minute. You understand? I apologize. If you want to listen, Matham, if you want to add something, don't hold back. You understand? All right. Give me Proverbs 20 and 19. Pillow Talk, that's the title, right? Like we think we just lovey-doveying. You think we just lovey-dovey, you and your rib, or the sisters, you and your husband, right? Oh yeah, I don't know about this sister, this. Well, man, I don't like how that brother, I don't know. You know what he told me to do? Bro, don't ever do that, yo. I promise you, it's going to come out in the council. It's going to come out in the council. You know why? Because your conscience can't help to talk about it. Then you talk about it, and you talk about it, and then now we're in council because what? You didn't go to him. You went to everybody else. You didn't go to her. You went to everybody else. Now we're in the council. Now we got to go to council because you broke the first rule. You got that, Squirt? Let's get it.
Proverbs chapter 20, verse 19. He that goeth about.
I should have got that ice. I should have.
As a talebearer.
Go ahead one more time.
Proverbs chapter 20, verse 19.
Mm-hmm.
He that goeth about as a talebearer.
He that goeth about as a talebearer. Listen, niggas be talking to me. I'm sly. Can't say that word. TikTok, bear with me. Listen. Can I talk freely a little bit? You know what I mean? That ain't a trait you want to have, yo. I'm all for being social. I'm all for it. I'm all for being talkative and communicative, and all those things is fine. But being a talebearer, hey, did you hear about what's in there? You heard about what's going on? Bro, listen, come on, yo. You want to read it one more time for me? Yeah.
Proverbs chapter 20, verse 19.
Go ahead.
He that goeth about as a talebearer revealeth secrets.
He do what?
Revealeth secrets.
And then it might not even be secrets. It could just be information that needs to be brought out in a particular setting. It may need to be brought out in the court. It may need to be brought out in the council. And not only this, right here, this good. It may need to be brought out between him and him alone.
Right.
You ever think about that? But no, we want to hear the tea. We want to hear the tea. We want to hear the tea, man. Well, we got to recognize and understand the power of our words is so absolutely dynamic. It's so absolutely dynamic and catastrophic, yo. It can move a mountain. It can move a mountain, yo. We can't comprehend and understand and see that, though.
Right.
Be disciplined in your speech. Be disciplined in your conversation. Be disciplined when you're talking to your woman, brother. Be disciplined when you're talking to your sister. You know what I'm saying? Be disciplined when you're talking to your husband. if there's a particular manner or issue, or there's a formal way to go about those things. But gossip is something that is against God.
Right.
We grown up with men and women that made it acceptable. You heard your mother talk down on brothers and sisters and your father. You heard your father talk down on brothers and sisters and your mother, which is absolutely against God and against the scriptures, y'all. You understand? I mean, I heard so many disgusting and foul things that, I mean, it's a common thing for a mother to talk down on her husband, to talk down on the so-called baby father, right?
Right.
I mean, talk about that man like a piece of garbage. Like a piece of garbage, but guess what? You chose that piece of garbage to have a baby with.
Right.
Now look at you, alone and regretful. Now, in order to seem good or feel good or have a, whatever you're trying to accomplish in your mind, you got to talk down on that man. You don't want to let him in your bed. You the one that got in the bed with him. You see how words are catastrophic now? Does that touch home to you a little bit, brothers and sisters at home? Because it does to me. I remember what my mother said about my father. I remember distinctly. It was a gross thing to say, and it was incorrect. I didn't understand until I was older. I was like, why the hell would you say that? Why the hell would not only her, but because you can't deal with your issues at home, guess who else was saying it? All the other women.
Right.
All the other women. Grandma, auntie, cousin, and all these lies just spread, right? And we think it's just, you think, she's just venting. She's just hurt. Or he's just, listen, I ain't being misogynistic. There's men and women. Come on, but listen, can we just read about? Hey, look, but it ain't a hard thing to comprehend. Of course, you understand. Growing up, like especially, and it only in those particular settings, and guess who it hurts? The child. The child looking up like, what in the hell is wrong with them? Why are they doing this in front of me? Like growing up, I can share my personal experience now. But growing up, I was like, what? Why are you doing this in front of me? Why are you doing it in front of, like I'm the child is the determining factor of who's right and wrong, rather than a judge, rather than a counsel? That it was like so, I respect my father so much. He had to deal with something like that, brother. I look up to that brother and respect him for life. I tell you that, man. I tell you that. Growing up now and having kids now, I'm like, Dad, man, I told my dad, like, listen, I understand now. I didn't understand then. I understand life now, and I thank my father dearly for standing up for me and the family and the kids like that. That's an honorable man right there. I know you didn't know him personally, but you saw him before. Over there at the Sweetheart Factory. Yeah. But let's get that script one more time.
Proverbs chapter 20, verse 19.
Right.
He that goeth about as a talebearer.
As a talebearer, yappity. Like, no, I don't understand. Niggas wake up, can't wait to say something. Get on the Facebook and blah, 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 blah. Listen, yo, bro. Yo, son. Some brothers gotta grow up. But I sit back and watch the internet, right? And I'm like, bro. Please.
One that's
My thumb is better say, he said, what's crazy? Go ahead, what's crazy?
the one that's on the internet pointing at the phone like he talking directly to the person but talking to everybody.
Right,
Everybody that story.
right,
Being a talebearer to everybody. And they do it purposefully,
right,
you know?
right. They do it, they want, like, they need a like. They need, like, it's a, I'm about to say Jerome Thumb. Jerome Hyman, he brought out a couple of years ago about how the sound of a like when it hits the notification, how it's similar to the sound of with the sound that you get at a casino. Like all those sounds and dings and notification sounds is manufactured on purpose that way.
Because it helps, it makes you keep going.
Yes.
It causes you to want to keep spending money.
Yep.
It causes you to want to keep speaking. It causes you to want to keep being a talebearer.
You got it. You got it. It causes you to want to continue in that wickedness.
Right.
Yes. Is there any more on that scripture? Or are we
No,
done?
no, sir.
Go ahead.
He that goeth about as a talebearer revealeth secrets.
Right.
Therefore, meddle not with him.
Meaning what? Listen, listen, bro. You want something right now? I'm gonna just dismiss myself. If you want to talk about it over there, you talk about it over there. But listen, I ain't trying to hear none of that. I ain't trying to meddle with none of that. You understand? It says meddle not with him. You know why? Danger follows that person. Death and destruction, unaliving and destruction follows the talebearer. Look at the city. Look at the city. This is the result of false counseling and false teaching from the Christian church. Go ahead.
Right. Therefore, meddle not with him that flattereth with his lips.
Flattereth with his conversation. He flattered with his conversation, like, hey, listen, yo, let me tell you something real quick about this dude right here. You see him right there? Yo, that's a clown, yo. That's a Baltimore term. A lot of cats might not understand that. That's a straight up coon, yo. That's a clown. He ain't got nothing better to do but to talk about somebody else.
Always started off with, I ain't trying to spread
Yo, say, yo, but Dub, you got it. Hey, listen, I ain't trying to start no stuff.
start nothing, but
I ain't trying to say this, but
that's that flattery with the lips.
you on it. That's the flattering. What scripture was that just now?
20 and 19.
Hold up.
20 and 19.
Oh my God. Flattereth with the conversation, with the lips, with your conversation. He reeling you in. Hey, yo, I'm just saying, I don't want to talk too much, but I'm saying this.
Right.
You know, such and such, boom, 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 and then bop, boom, bop. And you think he cool because he got some tea, so-called tea. Yo, you's a chump, yeah. You know, that's how I look at Negroes like that, Negroes and you know, sisters like that. Like, yo, what are you doing? Talk about the game. Talk about the O's game. O's is, I think we just lost though. Yesterday. Talk about the O's game. Talk about the Capitals lost too. I think they got swept though. I don't know if you watch. I don't watch hockey, but I heard it on sports radio. They out the playoffs, right? Listen, the Capitals lost to some cat. I don't watch.
You know, they made a big deal of that a few years back when they won that championship.
The Capitals.
That was the only thing I remember.
I remember that distinctly because it's like it was big. Cause no, I think it was big because also not only did the Capitals won, but the what's the baseball team in is it the Nationals?
National,
They won that year, right? Too, also, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so. Or they went to the series.
One, it was they made it far.
Yeah, they made it far.
It was the
Because the hockey team won and they was expecting the national.
right. I think it was like 1 year the Nationals won, and 1 year the Capitals won. But yeah, talk about that. That's local. Talk about the O's doing better. Talk about the the goddamn what just passed this weekend with the NFL the draft. Talk about the draft. I talk. Why the hell did hold up? Why the hell they get Zeke?
This is brother Daryl Lynn.
That's his sister.
I know so many brothers that need to hear this, and he's definitely right about that.
That's the sister.
Oh, Salaki says,
You're right. Brothers and sisters need to hear this. But what the hell Cowboys doing? They got Zeke back. You see it?
you know, listen, I had to pull myself away from them.
Yeah.
I used to get too emotional.
Look, we'll talk about that. I just saw that. As soon as I saw that report, I'm like, what?
I saw it, but
Yeah.
right here,
Yeah.
get too tall,
Yeah.
unfocused when I think.
Come on. Hey, we'll talk about that after. Hey, that's a sidebar. All right. See, we know what to talk about. We know what to talk. We ain't got to gossip it. We can talk about sport, politics, and the war. We talk about actual things that's actually important. You ain't got it. Go ahead.
You just say they break my heart every year.
Come on, yo.
I said last year, I said I didn't even think about this.
Right.
That's it.
After that, listen, we'll talk about that shit. Okay, all right. See, that's a prime example. We can talk about sports. We can talk about politics. We can talk about China and Taiwan. Like it's so many things to talk about. But why do we think in our minds it's important to talk about each other so cruelly?
Right.
It's so gross. And sometimes we don't even do it. Sometimes we do it indirectly. We do it in front of the person indirectly. It's so why would you say that? What was the purpose of that? I'm here in front of you. Talk to me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You know what they always say, that we've been so destroyed by our enemies that we become our own enemies.
Yep.
You understand? We've been so crushed by the oppressor that we feel like we have to crush each other to get some kind of or gain respect.
I agree. We gonna stay in Proverbs. Give me 18 and 8.
Proverbs chapter 18, verse 8.
Mm-hmm.
The words of a talebearer.
The what?
The words of a talebearer.
It's the words of a talebearer, the conversation. You know what I mean? The gossip, the tea, the red table talk, the club shay, all of those things like that. It's like it's such a common thing. It's been monetized.
Right.
It's entertainment now, right? Remember the Cat Williams interview and the Monique interview with Shay Shay? There's another I forget her name. She's not as famous as the other ones, but it was a bit controversial.
Is that
The sister,
Jaguar Wright
is that's her name?
sister that got all the information, especially the P. Diddy information?
I'm not too familiar, but it's been monetized. It's been put into a format to make money.
Right.
And it's it's gaining millions and millions of views, but it's like kind of gross too. You know the interviews that I did like. It wasn't so like talking about people. It was like a very young comedian called Desi Banks. Very very young, like him he was on Shay Shay. It was a couple of. I'm a fan of Cedric Entertainment. He wasn't really trying to dive into it too much about other comedians.
Right.
I'm a fan of him. Like it's some things that are like actually informative, and that's not like, oh yo, I'm talking about this person, I'm talking about that person.
Right.
Like that's it. That's like, I want to know about how it was on the tour, Kings of Comedy. How was it? How was Steve? How was Bernie? How was his being with them on tour? Like I want to know things like that. I don't want to know. Yeah, I don't like him over here. I don't like this. Like, yo, that's corny, yo. I ain't never liked that nigga. Yo, bro, grow up, yo. Like, you sound just like your grandma. You acting like your goddamn grandma. Instead of taking the characteristics of your father and your granddad, you done took on the characteristics of your grandmother that was gossiping on the phone, Your mother was talking crap about the other sisters in the church on the phone in front of you.
Right.
In front of you. Didn't even care that you was there. Talking about your dad in front of you. Talking about the women in the church in front of you. Not understanding the impact that would have on you. Please.
The sister says ignorance shows lack of respect for one another. And that's definitely correct.
That's definitely correct, sis. A lack of respect for one another. Absolutely. And here in the Israelite School of EPK, we in the business of getting right with the Lord.
Right.
We're in the and not only getting right, and getting right with the Lord meaning what? You gotta get right with each other. We gotta get right with each other, man. Got a problem with a brother or sister, man. You talk to that person directly, yo. You talk to that person directly. Y'all niggas be on, niggas and bitches be on the phone. I gotta talk freely. I can't hold back no more. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so like, on the phone though, trashing each other like, and the other person listens. And what do you think that other person does?
Goes back and tells somebody.
Tell somebody else.
That's the way that ball bounces around. You know, that's how a ball bounces.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Four square.
Yeah, that's old school.
Anyway.
Yeah. You better be ready.
Be ready.
It coming in your square.
Exactly.
Go ahead. I was at 18, right? 18:8.
Proverbs chapter 18, verse 8. The words of a talebearer are as wounds.
Or as what?
Are as wounds.
It's a wound. This is a negative connotation here. Pain, suffering, a gouge here. Those words are painful. It may seem delightful in the moment of you sharing that information, sharing that tea, but initially at the end of the day, there are wounds. There are wounds. Go ahead.
And they go down into the innermost part.
And they go down and deep and low, and they hurt and destroy. That's what they did. Go ahead.
Of the belly.
Of the belly. Give me 17 and 4. Give me Proverbs 17 and 4.
Proverbs chapter 17, verse 4. A wicked doer.
A what?
A wicked doer.
A wicked doer, a sinner. A foul brother, a foul sister. Go ahead.
Giveth heed to false lips.
Meaning what? They want to receive the tea. They want to receive the false counsel. They want to receive the gossip, the rumors. Yeah, they want to receive the tale from the talebearer. Go ahead.
And a liar giveth ear to a naughty tongue.
And a liar, filthy, disgusting person, they're going to listen. They're going to sit down, talk with him, and talk about a person, talk down on a person. Just soaking it up. And then what do they do after that? They go put that demon on another brother, put that demon on another sister. This is what we seen growing up at them cookouts, y'all. Them cookouts and them goddamn hen sessions, they just talking crap about they peoples. How about their family? You understand? Go ahead.
Have you ever seen when you come into a party and you seen somebody who don't know somebody, but they frowning their face up like they heard something about somebody? That's that talebearer. That's that wicked tongue. That's that naughty tongue right there. When you say something to somebody, they don't know this person, but they feel like they know this person from everything that you told them about that person.
Exactly. Now I'm gonna give you talebearers a warning, y'all. I'm gonna give you talebearers a warning. You pillow talking bitches, you pillow talking niggas. You understand? Read this script right here. I don't even think I left Proverbs yet, did I?
I got it written down. We got 4 of them so far.
Proverbs 26 and 20. And listen, I teach these classes out of love. We in the business of raising a nation of brothers and sisters that are righteous and in the right spirit. You understand? If you ain't in the right spirit, if you ain't in the right mindset, you can't be here. You can't be here and harm and destroy brothers that want to be righteous and destroy sisters that want to be righteous. You understand? You will be removed. Everybody understands that, right?
Come.
What did I ask for?
Proverbs chapter 26, verse 20.
Go ahead.
Where no wood is, there the fire goeth.
Stop. Hit it. You got a fireplace. Here is good, right? You out of firewood. That's what happened. The fire go out. It extinguishes itself. It extinguishes itself. You understand? Where there's no fire, the fire is in this context something negative. The wood in the fire has a negative connotation in this context, and I'm gonna show you why. Go ahead.
So where there is no talebearer.
Stop. Say it again.
So where there is no talebearer.
Just like there's no wood. Now, if there's no talebearer, there's something else that will cease. There's something else that will diminish, and just be not there. Dissipate. That's an excellent word, my thumb. Dissipate. Go ahead.
The strife ceaseth.
The what?
The strife ceaseth.
So in order to have peace, in your family, in your circle, you got to get rid of that talebearer, yeah? Ask yourself, are you a talebearer? Do you be yapping at the goddamn mouth all the time? You talk too goddamn much about a brother or a sister or a situation. Maybe you should be removed. That way the strife will not be there. We don't want strife. We already slaves.
Right.
Now I gotta go home to strife. Now I gotta go home to, iniquity and strife. Nobody wants to hear that, right? Recognize and understand that, right? Any more?
Lies. Unless you want to drop it at 21.
Is there anything on 21? Go ahead.
As coals are to burning coals.
Like as coals as the burning coals. Same analogy. Go ahead.
And wood to fire.
And wood to fire.
So is a contentious man to kindle strife.
You wanna keep that fire burning with the gossip, with the tea, with the conversation. It only leads to it leads to something that's not pleasant, yeah.
Right.
It leads to things that are not pleasant, I promise you. If you're gonna stay in Proverbs, this is gonna be the last one too, because it's going on 9 o'clock, all right? Unless you wanted to add something. Proverbs 11:3.
Proverbs chapter 11, verse 3. The integrity of the upright.
This is the integrity of the upright. Like you gotta have integrity in here. You have to have integrity. You have to have some morals, a standard in your mind. You got to be aware of what you retain and what you spill. You understand? Only an upright man would have that consideration. Only an upright sister would have that consideration. Everybody understands that, right? Go ahead.
The integrity of the upright shall guide them.
Shall guide them. Go ahead.
But the perverseness of the transgressors shall destroy them.
Shall destroy them. You understand? You want to follow somebody that's a sinner and a filthy, disgusting gossiper, you want to be led straight into destruction, man. But give me Proverbs 11 and 13.
Proverbs chapter 11, verse 13.
Go ahead.
A talebearer.
A what?
A talebearer.
A talebearer. A talebearer. The gossiper. The rumor. The club shay-shays. The red table talks, right? The talebearer, right? So fixed on so-called spilling the tea. So fixed on telling the tale, telling the story, telling the allegory. It's like that talebearer, he gets high off of that. And he sees somebody that's interested, then he got his fix. Right? Go ahead.
Revealeth secrets.
He does what?
Revealeth secrets.
He revealeth things that should be only in a particular setting. He revealeth things that shouldn't be talked about out of a courtroom, out of a council, matter of fact, out of him and him alone, really. He revealeth that. And it's an absolute gross thing to do. It's an absolute, you don't gain any notoriety for being a gossiper and a rumor spreader. You don't gain any notoriety for speaking on things you don't recognize and understand that you have no involvement with. You don't gain anything. What you do is spread destruction. It's spread iniquity and spreading strife. That's what we got to come to terms with, man. People are in the grave because of these horrendous acts. Horrendous acts of your choice of words. You know what I mean? Please continue.
But he that is of a faithful spirit.
But if you got a faithful spirit, if you upright and you just, go ahead.
Concealeth the matter.
You're going to say, you know what? I hear you. You can keep that to yourself. I don't want to speak on that. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even hear that. You know something? You ever had to? Yo, you know what? I didn't hear nothing you just said. No sweat. Hey, listen, I don't know what you just said. I ain't got nothing to do with that. Shalom. Right. Peace. Bye. I'm out. And most of the time it's like homies from the hood, old homeboys say something dumb. You're like, yo, listen, I'm just around the way. I'm picking up something real quick. Visited my pops. Hey, listen, I don't hear nothing you got to say about nobody. Right. You know what I mean? I don't know nothing about none of that. It's a lot. You're. You know what I mean? Matter of fact, man, I'm running late. I ain't running late at all. I'm getting out. Before I get a part of whatever you a part of. I don't want a part of none of that. You know what I mean? None of whatever he just said ain't gonna come out of my. I ain't talking about that ever. Cause then I'm a part of it. You understand? I mean, I'm gonna let y'all go to sleep, yo. I gotta go to sleep too. You know what I'm saying? Hey, with that, hey.
Sister said lies upon lies being told on you from a clown.
From a clown. Forget about it. She from Baltimore. That's hey, clap it up. That's gonna conclude the class. All right? I'm gonna pass the class off to priest and officer Matham Shakalia. All right.
Right.
You gonna have to grab the book though.
Right. That's a heck of a class. Right. I got the right book. I pick up the right book.
I never grabbed it right when I was a lot.
I think it got it's got some extra stuff on it. All right, that was a heck of a class, and we got to show brotherhood. We can't be talebearers. You understand? We can't destroy ourselves. The oppressor's already trying to destroy us. You understand? It makes his job even easier when we destroy our own. You understand? So we got to come up out of that. We can't be talebearers. Let's get up in this truth in a UPK under commanding General Yohana. With that, security announcements. We are ISUPK out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General Yohana. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves of the world. Let's see. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from their head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After that 6 month period, the brother or sister will get permission to marry. You understand? People come into the truth. We come into this truth to shed ourselves of the world. We can't be like the Christian church. Christian church, you can go in there, you can lay with a woman, leave her, lay with the next woman, or deal with as many men as you want. That's not, we are not the Christian church. You understand? That's not how we operate in the ISUPK under commanding General Yohana. There are rules, you understand? The Christian church doesn't have rules. All right, let's go. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in Numbers 18:21, Malachi 3:8-10. It means tenth in the Hebrew, and it's pronounced ma'ashera. A tenth of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the Treasury Department or Priest Fund. Free will offering for a priest, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like to give. Up and coming holy convocation. Let's go back. Let's reverse. Man, we had a hell of a Passover, and I know everybody had a ball, even though we had some little, kinks in there like that. I still had a great time, you understand? And I did get to go to that, what's that, Ball City Armory. I got a case. Yeah, we can talk, I got a case. But anyway, we're going to remind Akim Aquathium. Wait a minute, what's our next? We just finished the yeah, but we just ended the unleavened bread last night, right? So that was it. We got the Feast of First Fruits coming up. When is that? First Fruits, Feast of First Fruits is coming up. Remind Akim Aquathium to check on social media such as ISUPK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for ISUPK events and material. If a brother wants to be a troop in the school, then he's to start wearing all black, which includes black boots, shirts, pants, scarf, headbands, and scarves. And with that, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the teacher, men of Israel, Imajim Shabbat, Imajim Barak, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shabrakatah, Yad Yamatah, class dismissed. Right. Let's see here. I'm going to let you do this, Cap.